Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to be a bit weaker than Ethereum. For Ethereum here, and I made the video today, this move up looks already a little bit stronger, and we've hit here to the downside already various, let's call them ideal targets for this fourth wave. Bitcoin continues to perform a little bit weaker, continues to perform a little bit lower. After we broke out of this triangle yesterday, we came down a bit. We haven't broken any key support levels or anything. We've just broken the triangle, but we have basically, let's say, we haven't invalidated here this wave 4 support area. So there's a few things we need to talk about in terms of just sort of, let's first of all talk about the wave count, and then let's talk about key structural support and resistance levels and indicators that could show us and indicate to us when this wave 4 is over. For Ethereum, I will currently make the assumption that wave 4 is over. For Bitcoin, I'm still struggling a bit, right? But let's take a look at it. With Bitcoin, I'm still assuming that we're moving up here in a wave C of 2, and that after that, up there, we are sort of somewhere between 21.7 to 22k. We are sort of constrained and should actually see a reversal to the downside. Well, if we don't, the daily chart context will flip bullish, okay, which would then unlock prices all the way up to around 25k and more. But at the moment, my assumption is just here that we've made a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 down, a wave 3 up, a wave 4 down that can be finished at any point now because we've hit the support area. And the wave 5 is still coming. That would be the ideal target or the ideal scenario for me. Another wave to the upside coming, right? If this is now in a bullish scenario, or here, like I've got on the chart, actually a bearish scenario where I would expect a reversal up there, coming down in wave 3 to make lower lows. That doesn't really matter now in the short term. That will be decided up here really. So I mean, there are various wave counts possible. From time to time I show you the different counts that are possible, and you should have an understanding that with Bitcoin at the moment a lot of different scenarios are possible. It is just a far less reliable chart compared to than Ethereum. I think it's just important to understand those different scenarios, to understand that different possibilities exist, but that primarily in all of these scenarios I show you short-term upside. So short-term upside is definitely there into the region of around 21.7 to 22k, and this is the next decision point where we will see if the market is pushing through resistance and the chart will flip bullish overall. Because at the moment the overall chart context is still, for me, pointing to the downside here. But it could flip bullish because, as you know, my view of Ethereum is fairly bullish. However, I'm also expecting Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin in the future. So this doesn't necessarily mean just because Ethereum is bullish, Bitcoin needs to be as bullish as well, because Ethereum clearly shows signs that it is outperforming Bitcoin in the future. I mean, we also just need to look at the ETH BTC chart, it just shows much more potential. And then we've got some changes to the fundamentals anyway with Ethereum recently with the merge, which makes it quite interesting. I talked about that in previous videos as well. But anyway, this is Bitcoin, so let's take a look at that. And by the way, it wouldn't be a surprise because Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin in the past anyway. But what we can do here with the latest development, I extend the trend line here. We can see we've just hit the trend line from below. So we might be doing at the moment is just to retest it from below. There's different ways of drawing trend lines here, right? So it is quite interesting. I could also just draw a channel here, a parallel channel. That is also quite meaningful, I think. And in this channel, you can see that Bitcoin is also still constrained in that channel, actually, to the downside. We hit resistance on the upside, and we are still in a channel to the downside. So that is something that is actually quite noteworthy. Let me see if we can actually add that. No, we can't. It doesn't make sense. But this is something that I would like to see broken to the upside to indicate, to get a first indication that the downtrend here is over and that wave 4 is over. That hasn't changed. The assumption hasn't changed. We are still in this, in my opinion, wave 4 correction. It could be, and that's what I said before, it could be a 1-2 setup as well. So basically that this wave 3 was never finished. Exactly. That this wave 4 was never finished, and that we are just within this wave 5 in a 1-2 setup. That's possible. Not very likely though, I think, but it's possible. Just need to have that on the radar as well. But that just wouldn't change the assumption. It wouldn't make a change here in the short term or change anything. It would just have an impact on, let's say, medium-term targets, and we would be much more bullish. But anyway, important is really that we break out of these two channels or two trend lines to the upside. The first one would be broken today if we get above 20, let's say 20,420, and the other one would be broken if we get around 20,490 and get above that level, right? What we then need to do, we need to follow through and break above the wave X high. That's always a very good indication that things are changing. That is at 20,800, and then we need to take out the recent high at 21,080. It's pretty straightforward. These levels, in a cascading level of probability, right? Each level will increase probabilities that we are going higher. That's just how it works. So each of these levels will give more confidence. Yeah, by all means, the wave 4 could be over now. We have seen a complete three-wave structure here, WXY, but we've just simply haven't come high enough yet to suggest that really. And also, and that is completely different to Ethereum, we haven't hit the WXY 1-to-1 ratio target. So Ethereum reached that perfectly. Here we are short a little bit. So with Bitcoin, it would have been nice to see the price to come to 19,960 to hit the 1-to-1 ratio. So basically to say that waves W and Y have the same length. That is of course still possible, and that is an ideal target for such a WXY pattern. So it is something where I say, right, makes sense to get there. And it would signal, and we would probably stay still in the channel, and it would signal that Bitcoin has possibly finished here this WXY. It could be finished now, as you know, because we can count three waves, and the wave Y was lower than wave W, and we are in the reversal area anyway. But there's just simply at the moment not enough, let's say enough hints to say that this is over. On the flip side, we've hit the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, and we have reversed from there. That's similar to Ethereum. So at the moment, I think it's something to watch. Yeah, not to get bored or anything, but to watch, to be awake, because when these trend lines break, I think that's the first strong signal that things are changing back to the upside. And if we then take out the wave X high, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, and we can push higher in this wave 5 in green, and again, that could push us sort of into the region between 21.7 to 22K. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.